You've stepped into one of the most demanding and meaningful roles of your life. Caring for someone you love pulls on every part of you, your body, your mind, and your heart. And if you've ever felt exhausted, guilty, or emotionally drained in your caregiving role, you're in the right place. In today's episode, we're going to unpack what really causes caregiver burnout, and it's probably not what you think. Most of us step into caregiving without a roadmap. We think burnout comes from doing all the tasks that we have to do, the bathing, the medication management, scheduling all the appointments with the physicians, the endless to-do list, the cooking, the cleaning, and so on. But what if I told you it's not the tasks that drain you the most? It's the emotions behind those tasks. Think of caregiving like carrying a backpack. At first, you notice the weight of what's inside, your responsibilities, the errands, the appointments, medications. But over time, little by little, rocks begin to pile up inside that backpack. One rock is guilt. Maybe you feel guilty for snapping at your loved one because they repeated the same question for the fourth time. Another is frustration when family members just seem to disappear and you're left to figure it all out on your own. Another is worry about what's going to happen next, about finances, about your loved one's decline. Then comes resentment toward siblings who didn't contribute, who didn't step up, or toward a spouse whose illness changed everything. And finally, grief. Grief for the person that they used to be. Grief for the life that you used to have. Grief for the plans and dreams that you thought you were going to build together. Those hidden rocks are what make the backpack unbearable. The tasks don't crush you, it's the emotions that really weigh you down in your caregiving journey. Every caregiving task, preparing meals, giving medications, helping bathe them, comes with an emotional cost. On paper, 2 days might look exactly the same, but one day you feel calm, purposeful, peaceful, and connected. And then the next day, that same routine feels almost impossible to manage. What changed? Well, it wasn't the tasks that changed, it was your emotions. Emotions are the engine that runs behind motivation. When you feel appreciated, you feel calm or connected, you find the energy and the motivation to do all the tasks that you need to do. But when your tank is full of sadness, resentment, or guilt, every task feels heavier. You move from a place of duty and obligation, not love. You do it out of survival, not doing it on purpose. And that's when burnout begins to take hold, not because of what you do, but because of what you're carrying inside while you're doing it. Here's why caregiving hits so deep. This isn't just any job. You're not going to work clocking in and out for some stranger. This isn't a job like where you go to the bank or maybe, you're an electrician and you go onto the job and you do what you have to do. And then as the 5 o'clock hour hits, you hit home and you're done for the day. You're caring for your mom. Okay, you're caring for your parents, these people that raised you from when you were children. They were the rock that was there for us when we were growing up. These are our brothers and sisters who we grew up together. We experienced life together as children. And these are our spouses who we shared sacred vows with till death do us part. These are our spouses that we had dreams and made wonderful memories together. Maybe we had plans for the future, for vacations, and so forth. These are our loved ones. These are the individuals whose life has been woven into our very own story. Every task carries memories and meaning. Helping them dress reminds us of who they used to be. Managing medications is a daily reminder that time and health are slowly slipping away hour by hour. The emotional closeness makes every moment heavier. You can't just clock out and rest because home is where all of this is happening. That's why even small things hit hard. A harsh word from your loved one isn't just feedback or being critical. It's pain from someone you deeply love and someone that you're giving so much of yourself to. Their suffering feels like yours, and that blurs every emotional line between their needs and your heart. This is the truth. Most caregivers never say it out loud. Sometimes you snap at them, and then we feel guilty afterward, and that guilt feels so unbearable. Sometimes we lie awake at night replaying all the what ifs. What if, I had just been a better caregiver? Maybe if I had gone into the room in time, they wouldn't have had that fall. Okay, and we played this what if game until our heart just breaks. Sometimes you cry in the shower because it's the only place where you're really on your own and the only place we really feel safe to let those emotions out. And sometimes we secretly wish for a break, or we even wish that things could go back to how they used to be. And then we immediately feel guilty for thinking that. We're just human beings. We have emotions, and sometimes, we're not the best at managing those emotions. After all, we were never taught how to really deal with all these emotional things that we're dealing with, especially in the context of caregiving. You're caring for someone you love deeply while at the very same time you're grieving them. And I think about this grief quite a bit because, if we didn't really love, then would we really have any grief? So grief is a sign that we love someone really deeply, and then when they're no longer here, or we have those thoughts about the way things used to be, we're sad for it because we love. And the more that we love, the more we're going to grieve. That's just a natural flow of emotions. The emotional duality, the love and the loss, is what makes caregiving so complex, so heavy, and so sacred. On one hand, we love so much. On the other hand, we experience grief. And the only way we can really, get rid of that grief is by holding back our love. And that's not life. That's not what life is about. Life is being able to express our love and to share our love with other people. And so as we love more, we have to know that we're going to be grieving as well. Emotional mastery doesn't mean you never feel frustrated or sad again. It means you learn to notice, name, and navigate your emotions before they burn you out. So many times we have so many emotions running through our head. We have the grief, worry, anxiety, anger, resentment, guilt. On top of that, we're doing this all alone. And so what can happen is that it can just become a tangled mess of wires in our head. This is what our head looks like with all the emotions. Okay, all these emotions are just jumbled up inside our head. And when we start mastering emotions, what we do is we begin pulling out a wire and identifying it. This is guilt. This is what the guilt is. I feel guilty for snapping at my mother because she repeated the same thing for the fourth time. So emotional mastery is being able to identify our emotions and then being able to express it in appropriate ways. It's not about staying positive. It's about being aware. Because when you process what's really happening inside, your caregiving transforms. The same tasks that once felt like burdens start to feel like expressions of love. The same routines that drained you become moments of connection and moments of quality time. You stop trying to just get through the day, and instead you start understanding the emotional story beneath it all. So let me ask you, who are you caring for? How would you describe your relationship with your loved one? What emotions rise up when you think of that person? Write it down, name it. Don't judge it, don't criticize it, don't critique it, because that's where your emotional mastery begins. When you can understand what you feel and why, you can finally begin to release what's been weighing you down. If this resonates with you, I want to invite you to take the next step. Join me in Eliminating Caregiver Chaos, where we go deeper into these emotional patterns and help you reclaim balance, peace, and purpose in your caregiving journey, because you deserve to care for your loved one without losing yourself in the process. Subscribe for weekly videos on caregiver emotions, mindset, and resilience. If this interests you, go to www.eliminatingcaregiverchaos.com. Like, subscribe, and follow. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know if this is a blessing or if you could care less. I look forward to seeing you later. Have a good day.